South Florida today on NBC6 HD.
Well, the kids are back at school, and if you're like most moms and dads, you worry about their safety. Here to teach us some unique ways to protect your children are Cherie Ben Joseph and Sally Benswag, the co-founders of KidSafe Foundation. It's a great organization. Ladies, welcome. It's good to see you.
Thank you for having us.
How did this organization get started?
Well, many years ago, I was working as a guidance counselor in a public school. A young lady, 12 years old, came into my office and handed me this little piece of paper and told me that her stepfather was sexually abusing her. And this wasn't the first time that's been reported to me in my job, but she showed no signs, no symptoms. I didn't know. Basically, what ended up happening was her stepfather was the co-president of our PTA, and we were aghast. He did eventually go to jail, but what came out was that she'd been suffering for 5 years and didn't tell. She didn't come forward until she saw that he was showing interest in her 7-year-old sister.
What a horrible and scary story.
It was horrible, but what I realized from that moment was that every child deserves to be safe, and they need the skills to know how to get help. And I changed from a reactive social worker to a prevention education. And then I started doing our first version of KidSafe.
All right, Sally, how did you get involved with this?
I come from a totally different angle, not about sexual abuse. I had a trusted babysitter who was 24 years old, a certified swim instructor, a part-time preschool teacher, a nursing student at night. She did not watch my child properly. He walked out of the house and down a few streets before being found by a man who was a stranger to him. He was crying. The man said, "Why are you crying?" He said, "I'm looking for my babysitter." The man said, "Why don't you get in my car and let's drive around and find your house," because my son knew his street name. So my son got into the car with the stranger, and they drove around, and thank God he was a good person, and my son got home safe and sound.
That could have been a tragedy.
It was still a tragedy. But I went looking for a program for our family to go through, because even though I'm a former psychotherapist, I'm a teacher, I just didn't know what to do. And I found Cherie, and Cherie taught my son through an 8-week program, and I went to her parent lecture, and afterwards I called her and I said, "Why is every child not receiving this education? Why is every parent not getting this information? I can't be the only person." So we got together and we wrote curriculum for we now go up to 8th grade. We actually go into the school and teach children prevention education through fun, not fear, through role play, song, art, discussion in an 8-week program.
And now you just heard about, I guess that's a lesson for your child and not going with a stranger. But of course the molestation story you told us, what other issues do you try and teach kids safety awareness?
We try to teach children how to listen to their inner voice. And by doing that, we want them to make better choices about issues with bullying, peer pressure, internet safety, and internet dangers. We want them to really understand that they have choices, and they also need to know how to access help if they needed it. We want our children to have those conversations with us, but we need to also, as parents, have those conversations with them.
You've got some great materials here. What is all of this?
We published a children's book 2 years ago, which is Jack Teaches His Friends to Be Kid Safe, which is a review of all our safety skills through fun, through great graphics and rhyme. In the back, we have a section for parents. We are now coming out with a new book called My Body is Special and Belongs to Me, which is teaching children, again through fun, about safe and unsafe touch, and there's a whole section for parents. It's the conversation parents want to have but don't know how. We give it to them.
And we're excited about that book because not only is it coming out soon, but it's being illustrated by a local 15-year-old girl.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so very
exciting tonight, too, because you all have an event going on, correct?
Yes, we do. We have a fundraiser tonight at Cut 432 in Delray Beach on Atlantic Avenue, and we are really excited. People are going to come out. They're going to help us celebrate the launch of our 501c3 nonprofit KidSafe Foundation, and we're going to have wonderful auction, wonderful raffle prizes, and open bar and food from 6 to 9.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure having you. I would love to talk to you about a lot of other issues that you take up, like sexting with kids and all that kind of stuff. We'll have to have you back.
Wonderful. Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Well, for more information on KidSafe, you can log on to their website, kidsafefoundation.org, or give them a call at 561-715-1077. And don't forget, tonight they will have that event at Cut 432 on Atlantic, and that's in Delray Beach. All right, let's get over to Roxy for some more good stuff.